Hey, what is up everyone, and welcome back to the Achillea channel. Now today we have another transfer talk for you, and today we are talking about Celso. So far we have already covered Donny van der Beek, Ndombele and Jack Clark, all with potential moves to Spurs or move to Spurs depending on whether it's been done yet. Doubt it. But today we're going to be focusing on Celso. So we're going to be talking about who he is, how much he would move to Spurs for, and how he would fit in with the squad. Again, if you want to keep up to date with any sort of transfer news or with any breaking news of anything being completed, make sure to click that subscribe button down below. It's very simple. Turn on notifications so you will be the first to know when a transfer is done and over the line. And also make sure to like for this kind of content. There will be more vlogs coming soon, especially when the football season comes back. So make sure to stick around and let's get into talking about today's transfer target. Before we begin, this video again is brought to you by OneFootball, the footballing app that has everything that you need for all of your transfer news, for all of your team news, anything that's happening in football in Europe or across the world. Now, most of you are going to be Spurs fans, so you just select Spurs as your favorite team. It's got all of your potential transfers in and out of the club and any hot topic regarding the players, the stadiums, any games, absolutely anything, all at your fingertips in this app. So make sure to download below. The link is in the top line of the description. And thank you again, OneFootball, for sponsoring this. Now let's talk about Celso. So just as we have been doing with the previous players, we're going to start with a little player profile just so you have a little bit of detail of who he is and where he plays. So Celso is a 23-year-old Argentinian midfielder born in April 1996, making him 1 year older than me. Now regarding his transfers and where he's played at, this gets a little bit complicated. So he was at PSG. For the whole of last season, he was on loan at Real Betis in La Liga. Last month, they completed the signing of him for 22 million euros. So he officially becomes a player on July the 1st, which is Monday. But the issue is Real Betis failed to qualify for the Europa League this year, so they are going to have to sell some of their top players, and that includes Celso. So even though he's been on loan for a year and he's officially signed, they're pretty much going to have to offload him straight away. But his time in La Liga hasn't been too bad. He's made 32 appearances, of which around about 3/4 of those he has been a starter in the first team. And in those appearances, he has made 9 goals and gotten 5 assists. However, in Europa League, he's only made 7 appearances, but he got 5 goals and 1 assist in that, which obviously is a lot better ratio and just proves that he can do it on the European stage. Now, he's predominantly written down as like a centre mid, but I feel like he's a bit more attacking. I think he's the closest player to our squad is probably Christian Eriksen, a central midfielder who can be attacking but also collects the ball deep, moves it forward. So I think they're very similar styles of player. But he's also 5'10", which is, you guessed it, my height. And his market value is expected to be around £50 million. But because of his recent signing to Real Betis, he actually has a release clause of 88 million. Now we move on to talking about his move to Spurs, which obviously, going back to his market value, a lot of people are expecting it to be in the region of 50 million to 55 million pounds. Now, I don't think this deal would be announced imminently because he is currently playing in the Copa America. And I mean, as you would have watched this video, I think they had a game yesterday. He'll obviously have to finish the competition, come home, and then we'll obviously have to move agents over or fly him over. It's all a bit complicated, but it's going to be at least 2 weeks probably before any sort of announcement of Celso if he does decide to join Spurs. Now, all that means for Spurs fans is that 1/4 can have a little cheeky word while he's at the camp over in Argentina and be like, hey, so about this Spurs club, yeah? Champions League, want to come over? Got plenty of Argentinians, Paul Gazzaniga, Eric Lamela. I mean, your own manager's going to be Argentinian. Yeah, you're going to fit right in. Come on down. I mean, I don't think you'll quite say it like that. A bit more of a Spanish tone, but you get the point. Now, the big issue that I see with this, well, the big issue I see with this transfer is that obviously a lot of fans have been pushing, yes, let's get Celso on top of Ndombele and all this, that, and the other. But I cannot see us signing Celso unless Eriksen is offloaded. Now, at the end of the day, if we do bring in Ndombele and Celso, that is a grand total of 115 million pounds. Now, come on, when was the last time you saw Spurs spend 115 million pounds? Especially without selling a player like when we did with Gareth Bale. So there's just no way I could see us spending 115 million and keeping Eriksen. So we'll probably have to offload the funds by selling Eriksen. If we do get Ndombele over the line ASAP, that is already 65 million gone. So I don't think we will sign Lo Celso unless Eriksen is guaranteed out of the door and at a new club. Now the reason it's been complicated is because the Dan has come out and said he doesn't want Eriksen, and the fact he's not even a plan B. They want to do everything to get Paul Pogba, and they're looking at other options like Donny van de Beek as plan Bs instead of Eriksen. And I think because he was so set on going to Real Madrid, there haven't really been many other teams that have considered buying him, except for I think Man United, but I do believe he stated that he wouldn't go there. The only other clubs I could see him possibly going to is Barcelona, but again, they're already bringing in Griezmann and potentially Neymar now, so that will probably only happen if Coutinho leaves. I think the Lo Celso move is very, very heavily dependent on whether we can sell Eriksen to one of these big clubs in Europe. Hey guys, sorry to interject quickly in this transfer talk video about Lo Celso, but just want to let you know that the next 5 minutes is going to be the clips from our training before the AFTV game, which you're going to see the full highlights of that match next week. So make sure to follow Imperial Wolf on all socials here at Imperial Wolf FC, and watch out for the videos that I'm going to be posting on my channel very soon. So here is the training before the match and our preparations for it, and then we'll continue with Lo Celso afterwards. Thank you.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to whatever channel you're watching this on, whether it's Boovies, whether it's Theo's, whether it's George's who's behind the camera, 100% Chelsea, Lewis's, wherever it is. Thank you very much for coming on this journey with us, and welcome to the third session of Imperial Wolf FC. To my left-hand side and to your right, if George can pan over there, is the squad warming up. You get a lovely view of some people's arses. I know that some people quite like that, so if you want to pause the screen now, it's up to you. But other than that, listen, we have AFTV this weekend, obviously Troops, Robbie, all the others, apart from DT, he's got his own team, we're going to play them at some point. Just go look at the training session, see you in a sec. Megs.
50%, just jogging up to the cones here. Let's go. Work it, work it, work it, work it, work it.
Absolutely blowing.
Arms out in front of you, into a squat, jump up. Once you hit the ground, burst out, and then just jog. But only jog to the second cone. Okay, off you go.
I'm a very delicate flower. Well, I'm a very round, delicate flower. You're some mud. Sorry, you're benched.
You ever see that Neil Warnock thing? You know, he's like, he stays on the camera like that. You've seen the edits of it. It's like,
Why are you late?
Mate, I was waiting for Lucas, the big blonde hair guy, the floppy hair.
Oh, Luka Modric?
Yeah, him, yeah. So we just waiting for him. He got on the train and he didn't tell us. So we missed the train. Won't happen again.
No, it fucking won't.
Yeah.
I'll go get one.
All right. Yeah?
Yep.
Cool.
Dom, what's the discount code that people use for your box block?
from the last game that we played, if anyone remembers, what was the one thing that we got very wrong? People did whatever they felt like. So one would press, one would sit. Most of you here are unfit, like myself, like him over there. Can you just point it at him to show the unfitness? So, that as well. When we lose the ball, from now on, the closest man to the ball delays. Everyone else gets back into shape. You reorganize, reevaluate, and you go from there. I know you can run for years. I know you're gonna struggle after 60. I know you're gonna struggle after 45, you're gonna struggle after 30. I'm just pointing out random people, okay? You need to work as a unit to make it as easy for each other as possible. So what we're gonna do today is this. We're gonna play a match. Closest man to the ball delays. Where should everyone else be for the oranges? Get all the way across. All the way across. All the way, dumb. All the way across. We're gonna go full, because there's enough of us. There's no point in playing this small if we have the entire pitch.
You're tiny.
Me?
Yeah.
He's walking on with these bad boys. My milkshake's bring all the boys to the yard. Fucking hell! Jesus Christ, mate! Six Nations is in February! Follow us on Instagram. Hashtag Imperial Wolf FC.
Boys, get all your staff, come to the changing room.
Let's just give it our all. The thing for me is, this is still a new team, we're still gelling. So just as long as everyone gives 100% on the pitch, that's fine. I can't argue.
And also, it's not even just about the money spent. If we were to buy Lo Celso and Ndombele and keep all the midfielders we have, that is so many players. Now, I know we're talking about having squad depth, but think about it. Now, for centre mid, where effectively we need 2 or 3 top central midfielders, depending on what formation we're working, we're going to have Eriksen, Winks, Wanyama, Dyer, Sissoko, Ndombele, and potentially Lo Celso. That is 7 central midfielders. Oh, and not even forgetting Dele Alli. That's 8, which will be difficult to maintain. So again, I don't think we'll get Lo Celso unless we sell Eriksen and or maybe Wanyama or Dyer. So at least that way we have the options of Sissoko and Ndombele and Winks as central midfielders, and then you've got Dele Alli and Lo Celso as the attacking midfielders. Now we're moving on to why he should move to Spurs. We've said this all before with the other players. We've got Champions League football. I mean, he hasn't even qualified for Europa League with Real Betis. We've obviously got a brand new stadium with obviously amazing fans, I might add, and pretty much the best training facilities in Europe for any player. And of course, it'll be very easy for him to settle in with the likes of Pochettino as the manager, obviously speaking highly of him, and all these players being Argentinian like Foyth, Gazaniga and Lamela, and I'm pretty sure we have others that are Spanish speaking in the squad, so there isn't really going to be like language barriers or issues on that front. And again, he is another young player. He's only 23 years old. There's massive potential for him to develop under Pochettino and amongst all the other young players in the squad, especially if we're bringing in players like Ndombele, who's 22 years old, and Jack Clark, who is 18. There's plenty of other new fresh faces that are going to help develop his game, develop the squad as a whole. Now, I feel like I'm repeating myself in a lot of these stories, but again, our main competitor to signing him is Manchester United. Now, it comes with the same sort of issues and positives. Positives, we're in a better competition. Their club seems to be going downhill quite a bit. A lot of the players are potentially leaving. But yet again, the only place we cannot compete on with Man United is the wages. They would be willing to offer him a lot more. And to be honest, it's naive to say that, oh, he won't just move for the money, because at the end of the day, he is an international player. He doesn't follow any of these clubs to heart. He doesn't support them per se. So if you're being offered 300 grand a week at one club and a maximum of pretty much 100 grand a week at another club, realistically, you're heavily going to consider the 300 grand a week. That is 3 times the wages. So it's definitely a massive factor. But I do think that we can push to get the deal done sooner than they can. So just to finish off, I want to say that I haven't really seen him play that much for Real Betis or PSG, but I've heard a lot of good things from people and a lot of good things from other fans around the world saying that he's a very, very good young talent. But my worry is that he could just be another overhyped La Liga player. Now, I'm only saying this because I haven't seen him play, but it's happened to us in the past. Look at Soldado. He was the top goal scorer in La Liga behind Messi and Ronaldo, which is obviously an amazing achievement, yet he came to England and was an absolute flop. We all thought he was going to be one of the best strikers in the league. So I don't want it to be the case where our fans are completely turning against Eriksen and saying, yeah, we're going to get Lo Celso, he's a better player, because realistically, his stats are nowhere near Eriksen's. Eriksen is still got far better goals and assists than he does. At the end of the day, yes, Eriksen's had an on and off season, but he's still produced for the clubs in very important moments. A lot of last minute winners have come through Eriksen, whether that be a goal or an assist. So I don't want it to be the case where we're just throwing Eriksen out the window and bringing in Lo Celso and he'd just be a 50 million flop at the end of the day. Now, saying that, I do think we have learned from our mistakes and we're probably going to be heavily scouting him. And if Pochettino has personally said that he likes him, because obviously he had no involvement with Soldado back in the day, then I've no doubt he's a great player, but I do have those concerns that we're just brushing away Eriksen too quickly and saying we're going to bring in this new player that realistically not a lot of Spurs fans know much about him. So that is it from me. I want you to leave comments down below if you think Lo Celso is a suitable replacement for Eriksen. How much do you think he'll cost? And how do you see the Spurs lining up in the 19-20 season? Leave that all down below. Make sure to subscribe and I shall catch you in the next transfer target video. See ya.
No, there ain't no stopping us. Fly without a boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I'll be moving fast. Call me a shooting star.